Sheriff John Bunnell. No matter how long you train, no matter how much experience you get, crooks are always going to find some way to surprise you. The surprises never stop. Alcoa, Tennessee. Officers are pursuing a man who is drunk and dangerous. He's not only loaded with booze, he's loaded for bear. He has a shotgun and a rifle in the front seat.
He's reaching over into the seat here.
The officers need to stop him. Officers know the maniac could start shooting at any time. They have to get him away from the public, fast.
236, still in the parking lot.
Lead units keep the pressure on, while others split off, flanking ahead to help drive it onto an empty service road. The suspect is now out in the open, just in time to see the lead unit slam the suspect's bumper. The spinning truck loses control and stalls out off-road. Officers prepare to rush the armed man with overwhelming numbers. But this chase is not over yet. Somehow, the suspect restarts his pickup, then heads back for the open freeway.
207 is still rolling.
But the cops are determined to stop him cold. The lead unit punches again, whipping the suspect around. The driver lashes out at another unit, head on. Finally, the dust clears, and the suspect is completely boxed in. Within seconds, it's over. No one was injured, including the suspect.
We're in a 10-4 in custody.
This belligerent drunk tore through Alcoa, Tennessee.
They turned into a Walmart parking lot.
With his foot on the gas and an arsenal at his side.
He's reaching over into the seat here.
But by keeping the suspect's hands on the wheel, the officers kept him from reaching his guns. And they were ultimately able to bring him to a stop, without the suspect ever firing a shot.
We're in a 10-4 in custody.
Sellersburg, Indiana. Heading back to the station after a long day on the job, Indiana State Trooper Marcia Dodge suddenly finds herself in a high-speed pursuit. The suspect zips through traffic, barely missing other drivers. And all because he stole $12 worth of gas.
Pursuit is now 5570 westbound from 111.
Approaching heavier traffic, the suspect shoots down the shoulder. Seeing a gap, he breaks across 2 lanes. But he just can't shake Trooper Dodge, who's decided to clock in some overtime. The suspect plunges onto surface streets. Like a bullet on 4 wheels, the suspect is seemingly unstoppable. The fugitive makes a quick bid to get onto the interstate.
Gonna be jumping on the interstate.
His hair-brained maneuver just misses clipping another civilian. He blazes past a row of vehicles. Then the madman cuts into the fast lane, nearly flipping on its side. Dodge attempts to pass the van, but the suspect tries to jam her off the road. But down the road, there's a surprise in store for the outlaw, and he's not gonna like it. A big rigs have been notified by their buddies back at the truck stop that the outlaw is right behind them. With 36 wheels blocking the road, the suspect tries to pass on the left, but loses control, skidding across 2 lanes of highway. He tried to get a leg up on Trooper Dodge by speeding past semis, but only ended up face down in the dirt. When Trooper Dodge finally put the cuffs on this outlaw, she learned that he was not just a gas thief. He was a raging drunk who was 3 times over the legal limit. But whether this rampage was fueled by a bottle of booze or just a skinflint looking to save a buck, This outrageous chase cost the suspect a broken neck. Maybe the next time he visits the filling station, he'll be sure to pay before he pumps. Officers today have all kinds of technology at their disposal. But even more important than being able to outdrive or outfly a suspect is being able to outthink him. El Campo, Texas. A parole violator is on the run, and Sergeant David Juarez responds to the APB that the fugitive is headed his way.
Vehicle last seen southbound.
The suspect has told officers that he won't give up without a fight, and he apparently intends to live up to that promise.
Vehicle's going over the overpass.
Running at speeds in excess of 120 miles per hour, he's virtually out of sight in seconds.
Copy, about a quarter of a mile ahead of me.
By the time Juarez catches up, the pursuit has made its way into the next town. El Campo Dispatch has already alerted surrounding communities that the fugitive is headed their way. But the suspect doesn't seem to care. He turns this quiet Texas town into his own personal racetrack, barreling down narrow residential streets.
We need to get this stopped. It's getting too dangerous.
The condition of these small-town streets prevents the officers from gaining the upper hand.
Oh man, here comes the bump.
Juarez decides to head for the edge of town, leaving Wharton officers with the lead. He knows the suspect is feeling the heat of the pursuit and may make another break for the open highway. Meanwhile, a second unit picks up the suspect's trail. Officers follow the fugitive around a turn and head straight into rush hour traffic.
Head into heavy traffic. Everybody use caution.
The officers follow the suspect's path through a barrage of obstacles. The fugitive has gained a considerable lead on the pursuing officers. With open road ahead, it looks like he's home free.
I can't see that, Sergeant. Where's he at?
As the sergeant picks up the chase, the fugitive panics and makes a grave mistake. In a desperate bid to ditch the cop, the crook tried to turn off on a side street. His wheels lock up, flipping his car into the gutter. Unbelievably, the suspect not only survives the crash, but takes off on foot. Arriving units spot the fugitive running away from the scene. The suspect tries to escape around a storage shed, but the officers are hot on his tail. And less than 5 minutes later, they bring him in.
Subject in custody.
This pursuit sped through 2 communities in only 20 minutes.
Traveling rate speed of 110 miles an hour.
But thankfully, this 100-mile-an-hour roundup ended before it turned deadly.
Everybody use caution.
Thanks to a strategic effort by 5 separate police officers, justice was served safely and swiftly.
Subject in custody.
Coming up on police video, officers on the front line, outlaws on the fringe, and everything in between. These are the players in the war for the road. Next. Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
It's tough enough to stop these vehicles even if the suspect is just out for a joyride. But if they're intentionally trying to destroy property, anything can happen and anyone can get hurt.
Laughlin, Ohio. Patrolman Thomas Ostendarp tried to pull over the street thug for suspected DUI. But the crazed driver is not just drunk.
If they're DUI, man, they're gonna kill someone out here.
He's a street thug accelerating his criminal career. His rap sheet is stacked with small-time robberies. Now the punk has graduated to Grand Theft Auto.
They got a possible store northbound.
It's his first big score. But with his blood alcohol at 3 times the legal limit and driving more than 3 times the speed limit,
Run excess of 70 gone.
This petty crook is now a full-fledged menace. The patrolman struggles to stay close as the suspect threads through the streets. But the car thief soon learns that his drunken confidence is greater than his booze-hampered driving skill. By overcorrecting on a simple turn, he threw himself straight into a driver. The patrolman quickly takes the up-and-coming outlaw down for the count. This ambitious bad guy thought he could kick his criminal career into high gear.
We've got sparks flying, sparks flying.
Now he's earned exactly the promotion he deserves. By adding DUI, Grand Theft Auto, and felony evasion to his list of offenses, this small-time thug has become another big-time loser. Westlake, Ohio. An 18-year-old kid is being pursued by Officer Thomas Cummings. Officers notice the teenager speeding, but instead of pulling over, he's taking police on a high-speed joyride. As the chase enters a residential area, a cruiser takes the lead. Now back on Main Street, the suspect charges on, feeling invincible. Then the rookie speed demon takes what he thinks is a way out. He churns up the dirt in his attempt to pull away, but is stopped short when he slams into a tree. Blinded by sheer arrogance, the teen manages to start off his first year as an adult with a rack of felony offenses. Cummings rushes to the scene with his automatic drawn. These kids were lucky to get out of this tricky situation, with only a few scrapes and scratches among them.
So we got them all in custody.
Unless you've actually been in a pursuit, there is no way to understand the incredible exhaustion that an officer will begin to experience in any high-speed chase.
Aurora, Ohio.
Jasco Law Patrol Unit, Signal 1000, traffic pursuit.
It begins as a simple shoplifting call from a men's clothing outlet.
Advising a black truck coming your way to stop it.
When Officer Jeff Bugara arrived at the store, this late model pickup tore out of the parking lot like a bat out of hell.
It's like one male black driver, one female passenger.
One thing is clear right from the start. The driver of this truck is willing to do whatever it takes not to get caught.
43 Pioneer. He's running the red light.
The next thing that's clear is that other drivers had better beware. That's when Officer Bagara gets another interesting piece of news. The car was on the hot list. Not exactly a big surprise. This is a dangerous road to be going this fast, but the chase gets really intense when they barrel into this construction zone.
We're passing Countrywood right now.
The pickup is built to roll over the ruts and rubble of construction sites and never even upset the driver's coffee. But Officer Bagara is built for highway pursuits. The reckless pickup starts passing on blind curves, turning this narrow road into a potential death trap. This high-flying couple just came insanely close to killing someone. Where one false move in the police cruiser could spell disaster. By now, the adrenaline is beginning to wear off, and both drivers are getting very tired.
Approaching the racket club.
But the suspects in the pickup are still willing to take big chances.
Okay, we turned right onto Hudson Aurora.
This curve-pounding, teeth-rattling chase is far from over. Once they're on suburban streets, the pickup recklessly zooms ahead. They believe that on these roads, the powerful pickup can outrun the police SUV.
I'll never keep up with him in his blazer.
He races on down the road, looking for some way, somehow, to shake loose of these cruisers. But when you're going this fast, small mistakes can lead to a big collision. That's why Tim's lights are flashing and his sirens are screaming. warning motorists ahead. But the officer is still in for one more surprise.
We're westbound to your location now.
The suspects speed toward the next intersection. Officer Mills comes out of nowhere. And this chase is finished.
Get out of the car!
No more fight. No more run. No more resistance. If you rob and run in Aurora, Ohio,
He's running the red light.
that no matter how long it lasts,
We have the unit now.
no matter how crazy it gets, you're going to end up in jail. If there's a lesson to be learned
Oh, wait now. Send an ambulance.
from every street punk or speeding drunk, it's that there's no such thing as a victimless crime. That's why there will always be officers.
Okay, it's all over.
To make sure criminals pay for their crime.